Hello everyone, my name is Bryce McCloskey, and I would like to talk to you about something very near and dear to my heart, One Piece. I'm going to start with something small and manageable for my first video, and I'm going to talk to you about the Straw Hat's relative usefulness with a bunch of different categories. And these, trying not to be too subjective, are going to be strength in a fight, importance of skills on the crew, and bonuses for random things that make them stick out. Now, we're going to start with Luffy. Luffy is, of course, the main character of the show, so he has to take on the biggest and strongest people in every arc, making him more powerful than the other Straw Hats, so he gains full points in that category, for sure. As far as skills go, he is the captain of the ship, and that means he has to manage everyone else and make the tough choices, like not letting Usopp back onto the crew too early, and having the strength to tell everyone during the 2-year time skip, or at the beginning of the 2-year time skip rather, that they need to train if they are going to get into the new world. So I think I would give him full points there too, because he has to bring out the best in everyone and on his crew. As for bonus things that stand out, he is the main driving force for the plot, making him very important for the overarching story. He's always there at the biggest of the confrontations, like the Marineford War, and I'm sure he's going to be there at the last one. He's going to be the one who finds the One Piece. So I would give him high points for this. The second one is a fan favorite, Roronoa Zoro, or Zolo if you read the Funimation provided chapters. He is a very integral part of the crew because he is the second strongest. He has to take on all of the basically the first mates of all the other villains and things. As for so he's very strong in a fight, so he gets full points for that. As for importance of skills, like, what does he do on the ship? He normally just sleeps, and sometimes they'll have to wake him up to help with something, but usually he's sleeping or working out. So I'd say low points for Zoro there. And as for things that stand out, he's badass, I guess. That's why a lot of people like him anyway. So I don't know, middle of the road for Zoro anyway. The third member of the crew is, of course, Nami, and she is the third one to join the crew. She, as far as a fight goes, she hasn't had too many, and if it weren't for Usopp's climate batons that he constructed for her, she'd be pretty much useless in a fight. I would argue that she's the weakest fighting-wise in the crew, so low points for strength. As for importance of the crew, very high, considering she has to get them from point A to point B on these turbulent seas, like the Grand Line in the New World, where everything's screwed up. So, full points there, but as for unique things that stand out with Nami, she's usually a backside character. She's kind of the strong man who's always trying to reel in the silly ones in the crew when they're trying to do something ridiculous. She's like the voice of reason. But I don't know if that really... No. So I'd say middle of the road for Nami too. The fourth member of the crew to join is Usopp. He is the sniper slash inventor slash everyman, basically. He does whatever he needs to do to keep the ship going and everything. In a fight, he used to be kind of weak, but he always finds a way to get through using interesting tactics. Usually his battles are pretty cool because he's not ridiculously strong like the other ones, so he has to use his brain to get out of fights. But very recently, he unlocked the ability to use observation hacking, so he's up there for sure, strength-wise. As for importance for the crew, I would say he's also very, very high in that regard, because he had, like, before Frankie joined, he fixed holes. He's a sniper, like fixed holes on the ship. He's a sniper. He's very accurate. That's kind of a fighting thing, though. And he's also an inventor. Which was also kind of taken over by Frankie later. He made Nami's weapon. He's made a bunch of his own weapons. He's kept things going on the ship. And as for things that stand out, his father is a member of Shanks's crew, and that's probably going to come into play later for sure. So yeah, minimal points for that. The fifth member to join is Sanji, the last member to join in the East Blue. He's Black Lake Sanji. He's a culinary, basically a chef that fights with his feet because he doesn't want to injure his hands, because his hands he uses for cooking. In a fight, he always fights the third most powerful person, which is nothing to scoff at. He's one of the monster trio, the last of the monster trio. He uses Diablo Jambi and food-related techniques to take people out. As for importance overall, he is also very high, because he is the chef of the crew. He keeps everyone alive, keeps everyone fed. Really, being fed is like one of the necessities, for sure. So, high points for that. As for interesting thing to go along with him, as for, like, he isn't pushing the plot himself forward very much. His dream will probably be addressed at some point, but finding the All Blue, but other than that, yeah, minimal points for that. The sixth member to join and the first member to join in the Grand Line is none other than Tony Chopper. He is the reindeer who ate the human fruit, and he is a very middle of the line. He's one of the weak trio as far as fighting goes. He's fought a few times. He ate 3 Rumble Balls and turned into a giant to beat this one guy. But other than that, he's pretty weak. So I'd give him low points in that regard. As for uses, he is a doctor. He practices medicine. He keeps everyone healthy when they get sick, so I would say that's a very useful skill. Definitely high points for that. That's another necessity, for sure. But unique things to him. He's going to find a cure. He wants to become the miracle cure so that he can keep everyone alive. Middle points for that. That's pretty useful. The second female to join and the 7th member of the crew is none other than Nico Robin. In a fight, she's very hit and miss. She doesn't have very many one-on-one fights. Usually she's fighting fodder. Like, the amount of people she's fought that have names that I can think of are like the the fat guy in Skypedia, Spandam. She's cracked Gecko Moira's neck, and she's done a bunch of other things, like she stopped the Thousand Sunny from crashing before Fishman Island. So she's got medium usefulness. She's a very strange fighter. She's almost better at taking on large groups of people than like one-on-one fighting when it comes to like powerful people. As for usefulness on the ship, I would say she's probably the lowest, if not lower on the list, if not the lowest possible on the list, because she is an assassin / archaeologist. What the hell does an archaeologist do on a ship? Like, she's central to the plot in a way, because she's the only one who can read the poneglyphs, and they're going to tell about the Void Century and what's going on with that. So, Mike's points for that. The 8th member to join the crew is none other than Cyborg Frankie. He's a very interesting character. He, in a fight, usually holds his own. He's pretty powerful. I would say he's one of the strongest under the monster trio. So he's like, I would say he's number 4. I would argue it's post time skip for sure because of the Frankie Shogun and all these crazy like laser beam moves and ridiculous stuff he can do. So I'd say like higher medium points for that. As for usefulness on the ship, he's a shipwright. He keeps the boat floating. He can do carpentry on the spot. Like he built a bridge in a few minutes while people were talking, and that was very useful. He can build various things that are useful, like he built the Ganon cannon on the Thousand Sunny, he built the Mini Mary and like a submarine, all these little vehicles that are really useful. The what the hell was that thing that Nami used called? The like Sea-Doo thing. I don't quite remember. I remember it had something to do with a dial. But yeah, he's very useful. And he also had the blueprints for Pluton inside of him before he burned them. So if Nico Robin ever reveals how to make Pluton, because she's read the poneglyph that says how to make that ancient weapon, Frankie would be the one who'd be able to construct it. I would say he's very useful. So he gets very high points in most of those categories. And last but not least, we have Brook, Skeleton Brook. He's a very interesting character. He finally filled out the role of musician that Luffy had been asking for since the East Blue, I think. I think he said something about a musician at the end of Nami's arc, the Arlong Park. In a fight, he's quite... I'd say he's lower... He's not part of the weak trio, but he's not that great either. He hasn't fought very much. He's fought like... That one guy I can think of. He fought that stripy guy in Fishman Island and beat him. He fought his clone self in Thriller Bark and lost. So I wouldn't call him powerful, but he's definitely a competent swordsman. So I would give him like medium, lower medium, as far as strength in a fight goes. He's not a pushover, but he's not as powerful as a lot of the other members of the Straw Hat crew are. As for usefulness on the crew, I don't know, how useful is being entertained? He's like the guy who keeps everyone going, keeps everyone not bored on the ship. It's not essential, but it's it's good, I would say. So lower medium points for that. He can also phase through walls and stuff, which means he's kind of a good reconnaissance type thing. But yeah, I don't know. Lower points for that. As for importance to the story, he's the last surviving member of the crew that abandoned Laboon at the beginning of the story, right out at the beginning of the Grand Line. So when they go full circle and come back, that's gonna happen, but that's not really essential. That's more like wrapping up like all the dreams and stuff. So low points for that. And that would be the last one.
When I'm feeling lonely, sad as I can be, all by myself in an uncharted island in an endless sea. What makes me happy fills me up with glee. Those bones in my jaw that don't have a flaw, my shiny teeth and me. My shiny teeth that twinkle just like the stars in space. My shiny teeth that sparkle adding beauty to my face. My shiny teeth that glisten just like a Christmas tree. You know they walk a mile just to see me smile. Woo! My shiny teeth and me. Shiny teeth. Yes, they're all so perfect, so white and pearly. Brush, gargle, rinse, like the full breath mints. My shiny teeth and me. My shiny teeth so awesome, just like my favorite song. My shiny teeth that blossom, so they grow to be real strong. My shiny teeth, I love them, and they all love me. I should have talked to you when I got 32. Woo! My shiny teeth and me. Shiny teeth, shiny teeth, shiny teeth and me. Shiny teeth, shiny teeth. My shiny teeth that twinkle just like the stars in space. My shiny teeth that sparkle adding beauty to my face. My shiny teeth that glisten just like a Christmas tree. You know they walk a mile just to see me smile. Woo! My shiny teeth and me. Shiny teeth, shiny teeth. My shiny teeth and me. Shiny teeth, shiny teeth.
My shiny fucking teeth.
Shiny teeth, shiny teeth.